You respawn there. You'd think you'd respawn on the bed itself rather than next to the bed, because you sleep in the bed when you get out of bed. In the real world, you don't just get flung to the side. You just kind of wake up, lie there, look at memes, and then get out an hour later. No? So you think you'd respawn like here, or maybe it's because the bed is a half block. I probably should do the intro. Hey guys, this is Block Above Us, and today we're back for another episode of Adventure Series, where I go on adventures with friends occasionally. There. Old intro question mark. I don't know. So, today, this is probably the most unprepared for an episode I've been, but we only need 2 things, and you know what? Yeah, let's grab our armor, of course. Why wouldn't he? Just la da da da, boom. And wait, this is, yeah, put these on. And we need fireworks, of course, which by that logic we need a pickaxe, so we can get said fireworks. Let's grab 3 stacks, just because. And no, that's not the right area. The fireworks go here. And you know what? This is the only thing we need today. We only need a bucket. And that's because we're doing a big thing today. Oh, and I need a map. Because I think, looking at the map immediately, you'll notice something's up. If you've seen the series before, you'll know, normally to the left of the orange mesa terrain, blah, there's a big lake. Guess what's there now? You got an entire just desert. So, let's just take a fly over there. And since I haven't brought Diamond with me for ages, come on lad, let's go. This'll be fun. Let's see if, I'll rant about it a little bit later. Anyways, I have done a whole bunch of updated to this terraforming. So right here, obviously you can first see some trees, but you also see along this area I've added in just, I don't know, flowers, tall grass, things like that. Just to add in the detail of, it looks more alive. I feel like this area, this tone of dirt is a bit too, like, dead. It doesn't look... The flowers add in just the slight hint of color, which does make quite a bit of difference looking at it from afar, as well as adding in, like, the darker shades of, like, I don't know, the deep brown of the spruce wood and kind of the, again, the kind of similar to the grass color, but that's fine. Just that shade of leaves from spruce. And if you can see around here, I continued this terraforming all the way around. And this basically goes along with, I have expanded the modern area, because as I was talking about last time, I wanted to expand the modern area. And I have. So the terrain now goes all the way around here. Here we go, la-da-da. And it comes to a close about over here-ish. Like right around this little indentation here. So right here, this is where it ends. This is where the boundary goes. And these are the boundaries I was talking about last time. And I'm gonna rearrange my inventory slightly. So right here, we can come up, and I'm just gonna run to here. Let's get Diamond to teleport. Here we go. Let's just take off. And you can see from above, this is what I've done. This entire area has been transformed to the style of that area. So, but I have been working to keep the original kind of hillish terrain, because that's one of my, I guess, kind of bigger regrets with the world, which is also why this area is lower down, because I just flattened this entire area to just nothing. This was kind of like more hillish at some point, but I mean, granted you're going to need some hills, because, granted you're going to need some amount of flat area, because we need to build things in this area. That's kind of what happened. That's why the centerpiece here is kind of a mountain. That's why this terrain isn't just flattened. But that's kind of one of my bigger regrets, that there isn't more like slopes. It's too flat. It looks like a modified super flat, like before I added in all the mesa details. So I am now going to continue to have like more influence from the original terrain in the build. So because of that, I have added in little, I guess, reserve things, I guess you could say. So on the side here, you have this random piece of terrain, which I always found like fascinating, because it's naturally generated. I did not make that piece of terrain, and it's just so weird looking. Granted, like with these little, I guess, reserve things, I'm gonna probably add in kind of the whole coarse dirt, leaves, things like that, rocks. I'll add in that to some areas, but this one, it's naturally generated, and it just looks so weird. I just would feel weird deleting it, because it's just the weird form. It just adds something to the area, I think. So we're gonna leave it, and maybe add in some leaves and other details later. We also have this little area over here. No, let's move on. Over here, we have this, which my audio probably just cut out. Sorry. Right here, this little hill, I just wanted to keep it because I feel like this area is a bit too steep to go with the theme here, because the theme here is kind of, there's 3 layers. There's this bottom layer here, there's this layer here, and up here there's a small top layer, kind of like a castle in a way. Not really at all like a castle. So kind of the style was, but we'd go up by 3 blocks, 4 blocks as a layer. Whoa, that was, is my audio working? Hang on. So I decided to keep it just because, I don't know, it looks nice. It's not too large of a hill, and it's like also in the middle of the area, so I feel like it's like a central park in a sense, because this is the modern area. There's going to be it already looks pretty like fake when it comes to the grass itself, because it's all, you know, stained clay, wool, whatever. And that's also kind of why we're keeping this hill, because this hill, it's also a bit too difficult to work with that theme on as well. I feel like keeping this hill just because I already had built that there, and I don't know why I built it. I got the Bedrock Area 51, by the way. Totally not an irrelevant meme. And for serious, so do not go attack that place. It's not a smart idea. Just don't. You'll probably die or get demonetized, something. But basically, just I thought I'd keep this because it was kind of an old meme, and just the thing that I want to build here also needs kind of a hill. You see these blocks. It actually touches the thing, like right here. This is the furthest back pillar. My audio is glitchy. I don't know what's up with that. I hope it doesn't continue to be glitchy. But it's probably just because I have so much footage saved that I need to export and delete because I don't have much storage here. But anyways, around here I also did some more terraforming. I just dug this entire area to be kind of flat underwater, so that I wouldn't have a whole 1 block deep lake. And while I'm here, I'm going to grab a bucket full of water. So right here, this will probably all eventually become either terrain similar to that right there, or it'll become similar to this whole spruce tree coastline here. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. And last time I was talking about maybe right here I could come up with the whole nuclear reactor type thing, because I want to have like a modern ruins section, and that's kind of what the whole green terracotta is. Green terracotta along here is where, inside of it is where will be, I guess, radiated. So along here, through this little bulge, then right here. And that's kind of that. And along to this back wall as well, because this is where the thing would actually be, a little bit over this coast there. I'm making it kind of that way just because I don't want it to encase the entire south half of the area. but I want to make it kind of like, say it blew up here. Say this is where it were to blow up. The wind, hypothetically, would blow it in more this general direction as opposed to this direction or something. Because this area, this big flat area here, I want to be more like the main mesa area because it's already flattened out. I feel like doing smaller 10x10 shops there would be fine. So this whole area, that's where that's going to be. Although I feel like there will be probably some larger shops, maybe shops more on this scale, which, yeah, Stealthy's Pizza, it's here, sponsoring nobody. Already here, the museum got slightly renovated. The interior is completely the same, but because I felt like this building was too... While I did want the main color to be white, because that's what most like modern type builds are, they're more kind of white quartz-like pillars, like fancier builds. I wanted to add in some different shades to break it up, seeing the flaws in the build from my current eye as opposed to my 2017 eye, I guess. So I added in some pillars of, which color is this? Is it cyan terracotta or no? Not terracotta concrete. Not terracotta. It's stained clay. I didn't catch all of it on time lapse because if I were to catch all of this on time lapse, my computer would explode. So I've captured kind of the process of digging out some of this area. I figured I'd get some of it on camera because it was kind of a lengthy progress. It took like maybe 4 or 5 hours, and I thought I'd capture as well the process of adding in this coastal terrain. I thought I would make that into a time lapse. So for today, I guess I have 2 time lapses for today. So there you go. This here is the first one. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed that. I don't know how fast I sped it up because I haven't edited it yet. There you go, I'm very professional still, of course. I don't say that every time. And secondly, you may notice over here, this is just a huge, abnormal sand pit. And I'm gonna... Okay, I'll just sleep over here. Oh, and Diamond is stuck over in that... What's it? Oh, right here. I'll sleep in the red bed because, you know, Minecraft nostalgia. Minecraft red bed's our best bed. I've just dug out this entire area, and I did have quite a bit of help with this. Just digging out the entire area took about 8.5 hours, and it was conjoined effort between me and Clenching Light, who I'd featured in a couple other episodes. So I guess, as I did with the Avengers Level Threat video, link to him in the description. I guess check out some of his older vids. But basically, me and him, we worked together, we dug out this entire area, and this is kind of what we did. So if I break that, I'll pick up the stone brick. Boom, around the edges you can see this entire thing was dug out. And you can just fly around to this underside. He built this thing with a poisonous potato, saying, "I am inedible." There you go, why not? I also found this here. This is a mob spawner. There's another one over there, which was marked out by the little pixel art thing. And we basically dug this entire thing out. It's over 100,000 blocks, probably closer to maybe... I'm assuming it's closer to 200k, 150k blocks, but this is a pretty long time to dig out. I want to dig out this area too, because the whole reason I did this is because it was 1 block deep. That's literally it. It was only 1 block deep, and I was like, I'm getting sick of seeing this 1 block deep sea, because it's like this whole thing, and it's not even that, you know, it's not even that impossible to dig out maybe 3 blocks. So I was like, you know what? I have no life. Let's go all out. Let's dig it down to from Y64 to Y48. Actually, we dug it down to Y47, but of course we had you know, we had to add sand to the bottom. There we go. Originally I was going to go down to only Y50, but I decided to continue and just make it a little bit deeper, because again, this world has slightly limited space because it's a Legacy Console Edition game, and if I wanted to build something underwater, an official, I guess, Ocean Temple, Atlantis style build, I could do something like that here. This is a huge space, and yeah. And over here, past here, I'm probably going to add a slight barrier wall here again, and then after that, also we'll probably add in a slight wall here too, because I need to terraform this, because this island is not natural, if the whole 1 block deep wasn't able to tell. But as well as this area, I want to turn this all into sand, and I feel like this area here is way too unnatural, this corner. You'd make this more curved inward, like you'd start to walk upwards here, as opposed to have this. Although I have been thinking of doing something like a canal, I guess you could say, because this area is not naturally connected, and I feel like this area is just kind of an unnecessary strip of blank land. And since I haven't terraformed this area, which again, another flattened out area which I was talking about earlier, I feel like maybe something else could go here, because there was a river here. So I feel like maybe I could make some sort of, I don't know, a canal, I guess. Like, just cutting this area in half to make it easy to, you know, go around. So, over here, I guess this is an inland sea. I guess. Something. I don't know. I don't know the technical terms for oceans. But that's kind of where we're at. And I guess the first thing I should do is I need slight resources. As I said, I'm slightly underprepared and I didn't think ahead. I really should fill up that storage system. I really should. But right over here. Oh, and the stone brick. The stone brick that surrounds this area is all the stone brick that surrounds this area is all from what the former level of the area was. So everything inside of the stone brick used to be 1 block tall. Everything inside of it used to be 1 block deep, I mean. So basically, we have just completely terraformed the landscape of this build simply because it was just, why not, right? So let's just do a little bit more diagonally here, because why not? Okay, and here we go. This is what the ocean level is in Minecraft, 64, which I guess is understandable because the actual the average stack in Minecraft, not the average stack, the max stack you can get in Adventure Series, not Adventures, in Minecraft, is 64. Probably something related to the code, I believe. So, anyways, here, let's go, finish this up. And that's the slight wall. And is that all I needed? I think that's all I needed. So now we're going to use this 1 bucket and we're going to fill up the entirety of this area. But I'm going to get a drink of water first. I actually recorded myself doing most of this terrain. So I guess this is where we hit the second time lapse. Wait for that to disappear. There we go. Time lapse 2. Let's go. Alright, now we can start. So, hopefully nobody drowns. God. But we're going to need to fly up... No, not there. We're going to need to fly over to here, of course, because I grabbed 1 bucket, not 2. And that's the challenge of it, I guess, because why not? There's Diamond, of course. Oh god, I have to make sure he doesn't get hurt at all, otherwise he'll die, because I don't have any food. There's no food in the kitchen either. No, like, steak or any of that. So let's just go here. And now it's time to fill up this area. And as this goes on, the ocean level is just going to continue going up and up and up. And you'll be able to see, like, on the map, it progressively just gets, you know, more and more full. There we go. Expect to see the whole not drowned. Expect to see the whole thing get more and more full. Right, there. This is probably going up Wednesday, because seeing as I promised that I do Adventure Series every other Tuesday, I figured tomorrow, Tuesday, is the day for Basics in Behavior Not Purple. And that's out now, seeing as it's presumably Wednesday as of uploading. So, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm really proud of how I've actually edited the mashup itself. I used, I don't know, Basics in Behavior, Red, Blue, and Like It or Not, and made a 3-song mashup, technically. I don't know, I said I'd talk about kind of the story behind how it came into existence, so I guess since I'm not going to do a dedicated video to it, since I think it'll be old news by then, and I don't know, I want to talk about it somehow, and I want to play Minecraft. The whole revival of Minecraft has really got me into playing again. If this 100,000 block dig couldn't tell you that, I really like to play Minecraft now. Like, I've always loved playing Minecraft, but after seeing everybody else playing Minecraft, I'm just more motivated than I've been in the last few years. So, anyways, I figured I'd talk about it here, and the story goes pretty much like this. It's just an average day. I can look up the date, actually. August 11th, 2018. Another mashup creator, Mike Gino, releases a video based off of an old teaser that another mashup guy, Brickfilms, made. A mashup of Like It or Not by CG5 and Daco, and Basics in Behavior, not Basics in Behavior, and Die in a Fire by The Living Tombstone. So, well, Basics in Behavior is what I did. But basically, I was out of the house. I was at just a store, like an average, not a department store, but like one of those stores you go to for like lawn care, something. You know, they sell like all this outdoor stuff where you just, I don't know, seeds for flowers and vegetables and, I don't know, just, oh, I almost drowned. Get in the bucket! No, that's bedrock. No one cares about bedrock. I was there, and I didn't have, like, I had Wi-Fi, but I didn't have, like, the file for the mashup I was working on, like, exported. I make my mashups on my computer. So I was like, you know what, whatever. And I saw the mashup appear in my subscription feed, and I was like, sure, I'll listen to this a bunch, why not? So I did, and gradually the idea came in my mind of Basics in Behavior, because Basics in Behavior was a song that I'd recently just found out and was a favorite song for that time, and just, why not? Because, I don't know, there's some songs at this point for me where if I hear a song that I don't know, I'll just start to get that song going on my head, where it's gotten to the point with mashups where if I hear a song, I make a mashup of it in my head. Just, that's how weird it gets, I don't know. But 2 of the songs that I'm doing nowadays, in my mind constantly, are either Congratulations or Welcome Home, seeing as I made the mashup of Congratulations and Welcome Home. Anyways, at that time, Basics in Behavior is one of those songs where if a song was on, I would just constantly think, just the vocals with Basics in Behavior over it. And sometimes I do that with other mashups, and I was thinking that over Die in a Fire, Like It or Not, or as he called it, Like It or Die, which sounds like every single YouTuber. Like the video or you're going to die. That just sounds like a YouTuber who would get banned immediately. So, I don't know. But anyways, I was thinking of Basics in Behavior over it, and I'd known that people had done Basics in Behavior with Die in a Fire. That was kind of a given, because I already seen a whole bunch of people doing stuff with, like, the FNAF 1 song and the Basics in Behavior, the FNAF 2 song and Basics in Behavior. So yeah, Die in a Fire, Basics in Behavior had already existed for quite a while. So I figured, let's go with the original route, and I made Like It or Not, Basics in Behavior, and when I made it, that was kind of that. It took me 2 days, by the logic, because August 13th is the day that I released it, and August 11th is the day that I got my inspiration. So I came out with that, and that was kind of that. I just thought, oh well, another mashup just to exist on the channel. So after that, I think maybe 15 days passed, I think, because I released it on I believe the animatic came out on the 25th, last I checked. But basically a couple days passed. That's not 15, that's 12 days, not 15. Yeah, so I guess close to 2 weeks passed, and I'm just sitting in school because at that time school has started. So school is starting again soon. I don't remember when, but I know my free time is going to die soon, and I'll have to do more. I get to see Baldi's Basics again. Yay! God. But I was sitting in class, and not in class. I was sitting in the hallway because it was lunchtime. It was about noon my time. I'm sitting in this hallway alone because that's what we could do at that school, because we could just move around at lunch. We didn't have to stay in the cafeteria. So long as you don't, like, intrude on, like, another class that's actually being taught or whatever, you can just eat in the hallways, in classrooms, wherever. It was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. But I was just sitting in the hallway alone by myself, like I usually do, and I probably will continue to do that. But I was just sitting there, bored, because the first week of school was always the terrible week, because it's always, hey, welcome to the place. This is where we shove propaganda for be proud of your school that you've been at in your face, as well as you have to meet everybody. Look, forced socializing. Hooray! Which is my least favorite thing to exist, because I'm not an extrovert. In real life, that is. On YouTube, that's kind of an exception because, you know, it's YouTube. I'm making videos where I'm yelling about Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's and Baldi's Basics, whatever. But basically at that time, maybe, yeah, a little bit into school, I'm just sitting in the hallway and I get 3 comments in the span of maybe 2 minutes on, like, Like It or Not, Basics in Behavior, and I'm like, I uploaded this 2 weeks ago. That's kind of nice, but I was not really shocked because I had gotten comments on old videos all the time. I get tons of comments on My Ordinary Epoch that I just kind of, I don't know, sometimes if you comment on an old mashup and you get a like on your comment, then presumably it's either someone else looking at the popular mashup or it's me reading the comment and liking it. So there you go. But I was looking at it and I was like, I wasn't really surprised, but then it continued. I was like, what happened? Someone shared this? What? So I just go on Twitter, see, like, hey, has anyone pinged me in anything? Was this shouted out by a large YouTuber? What? And to my surprise, I go on Twitter, and another mashup lad, Cole Huff, he just pings me in a post saying, cough. He adds me on Twitter. Speaking of, I am on Twitter. And he just adds me, and there's apparently an animatic that exists. and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible, what? And it was like a full thing of the ending, and I was like, wow, because like I would never expect anything that I made as an animatic. Oh, that's cute, just shaking his throat from all the water, even though he's stuck in this lake that I'm filling up. I feel kind of bad now. But anyways, I'm just like sitting there, more and more comments flooding in, but because I don't carry headphones, I do this weird thing where I just like sit there, I don't use headphones, and I just hold the phone up to my ear. It's a weird thing, I'm sorry, but just, I do that, and I couldn't really watch it, and that, I was like, had this thought in the back of my head for the entire time of the rest of the day, because this was lunch, and the day still had like 3-4 hours, and I was like, oh god, this is incredible, I can't wait to watch this like with the audio, because I had watched it like without the audio, thinking of the mashup in my head, and like by that time the mashup had just like raced up in views. Like it was on the road to being #1, which I think it still is. I still think that maybe give it the rest of 19 plus maybe January, February, so long as the tutorial is slow, I feel like Basic in Behavior Not could become my most viewed video, which I would prefer that over the house tutorial thing. But anyways, I was on there just watching that, and it was just incredible. I never would have expected it, and that's just kind of how it came into existence. And I had no idea that the thing was going to exist. There was no connection between me and Starbeam beforehand. I didn't even know it was existed, I guess you could say. But I just was like, this is incredible. So that was a complete shock. That made my day for sure. And it still is, I think, a major part of my YouTube experience, because I was looking back on old videos like a day or so ago. Like, my first video is not my update video. That's the first video where I am Block of Lapis, I guess. I have older videos on YouTube, but the video was privated. And no, it wasn't on this channel. It was like, I think 8 or something. So, of course, I'm not going to release it ever as well. It's just weird. But I was looking at it. I've been on YouTube since like 07, I think the video was released in. Not 07, 2012. That's, 07 is way too far back. I mean, I was born in 04, so no. But even then, of the time that I've been on YouTube, I still think that's one of the craziest things that's ever happened. And as a result of that, the video became my most viewed mashup of the year. As well, kind of, it made like more people know that I existed as a mashup making guy, I guess, because I felt like prior I was just kind of just a guy just sitting in the corner. Just everyone else had their own set little groups. I was just kind of there. I mean, that's kind of how school is, to be fair. So nothing's really changed in that matter. But I feel like after that, I was acknowledged for, I don't know, 15 seconds of fame. So, I don't know. But yeah, that animatic thing, that was something. And because of it, later on, I think I mentioned him earlier, Brick Films reached out to me on Discord, and he was like, hey, I saw your mashup of Basics in Behavior or Not. Would it be cool if I made a version? And I was like, yes, definitely, go ahead. Because, again, him and a few others were kind of my main inspirations for doing mashups, so seeing that he was interested in talking to me and doing a version of this thing that I'd made, I was like, yeah, sure, this is crazy. And he made it in a day, which, granted, I made the original in 2 days. On average, it takes me 2-3 days to make a mashup. So I was there, and that was that was, again, one of my favorite videos on YouTube, I guess. But basically, the next time, I commented on that video, and I was like, you know, if you think about it, this came full circle, because as I mentioned him earlier, oh no, just, now he's stuck in the water again. No, as I mentioned earlier, what's it, I blanked out, sorry. As I mentioned earlier, I had gotten the inspiration from Mike Gino doing a version of a mashup that Brick Films would do. So I watched that, and I said, hey, this kind of came full circle. So I commented on that, and later on, the full circle became a mashup, which is a mashup of Die in a Fire, Basics in Behavior, and Like It or Not, which, thinking about it, is very funny because Brick Films never did end up making a full version of Basics in Behavior, no, making a full version of Like It or Not, Basics in Behavior. So that's kind of funny how the circle went. But I made the full circle blue, and also known as, I guess, Basics in Dying in a Fire or Not. And that's kind of where it ended off. Although, prior to making the full circle mashup, I made Basics in 2018 or Not. And in an alternate reality where the animatic never happens and the mashup doesn't blow up, My Ordinary Epoch is the mega mashup for the end of the year, because I had the thought ever since my 1K mega mashup, and I'm going to take a drink of water, I had the thought, like, I want to, after the 1K mega mashup, I knew how to make good mega mashups, because I knew the proper technique of, like, take one bass song, kind of add in extra stuff along the way. That's how I typically do a mega mashup. That's how I did 5 Years at Freddy's. That's how I did My Ordinary Epoch or Not. Epoch is Ordinary Behavior or Not, that's what it's called. That's how I did a few of my other mega mashups. So I was like, you know what? At the end of the year, my most viewed mashup by the end of December, since I'm not going to record many videos in December, the only stuff I did in December, I believe, was the Adventure Series specials. No, it was the Adventure Series Christmas video and Last Christmas with Last Labyrinth, and Basics in Lasagna, of course, which it was a shock that video blew up. Another channel promoted that video, which was kind of nice. But basically, at the end of the year, my most viewed video, mashup-wise, was that video. So I was like, you know what? That's going to be what the mega mashup is based on. Which I guess I would prefer doing that mashup as opposed to, what's it? My Ordinary, what would it be called? My Ordinary, Epoch's Ordinary 2018 or something. That's what it'd be called. That's what it'd be called. That's the title. Yeah, I'll make that. I'll do the exact same pattern, except with, you know, that is the background music. And then at the end, it just sounds exactly the same. That's it. But anyways, as a result of that, I ended up making Basics in 2018 or Not, which was also heavily inspired by the absolute garbage heap that was YouTube Rewind's 2018. Because, again, at the start, you had the whole, yeah, it's rewind time. That meme, you had, I think we should read the comments. You had that part. That video is absolutely fun to make, and the Mega Mashup only made it better, so. And I did do a poll recently on my channel on the community tab where I was asking, what's your guys' favorite Mega Mashup that I've done? And lots of people still like Basics in Behavior, Basics in 2018 or Not. And I definitely agree. I still think that Basics in 2018 or Not is my best Mega Mashup. So, I don't know. There's your fun story for how Basics in Behavior or Not Purple came to existence. Or just Basics in Behavior or Not in general. Well, I guess if you want to hear how the red version came into existence, it just came into existence because I was like, people enjoy the blue version. When the red version comes out, I'm definitely doing a red version because I enjoy the blue version. Thousands of people apparently like the blue version. Let's make a red version. So I made that, and now for the 1 year anniversary, because it's a mashup that's very close to me at this point because, again, lots of people enjoyed it. The animatic blew it up, and it's been an important part of my YouTube history at this point. I figured, let's go ahead and make a full version to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of it. So, you know, it's funny how close together a whole bunch of important stuff on my YouTube history is. You got my channel anniversary, June 30th. You have about half a month later, you have the start of Adventure Series. No. You have my channel anniversary, June 30th. The collapse of the Xbox One crew, July 16th. You have the start of Adventure Series, which is July 30th. You have Behavior or Not, August 13th. You have... No, what other important stuff happens? Why is all the important stuff so close together, yet so far apart? Like, you have the more important elements from each era, I guess. Because, of course, the channel starting is the biggest thing because the channel existing allowed all the other stuff to happen. But you have, you know, what's it? But I don't know, you have, for 15, you have Adventure Series coming into existence, and what's it? The channel coming into existence. Yeah. For 17, you have, for 17, you don't really have anything. 17 was just an average year, I guess. For 18, you have Basics in Behavior or Not. No, 17 was the collapse of the Xbox One crew. And then you have 19, you have the 4-year anniversary and just me reflecting on the channel in general, I guess. So, there you go. Important stuff. It all happens about a year apart, which is odd, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so I'm almost done, and I just kind of took a picture from above, and pretty much, what's it? I'm going to break these stone bricks now, finally. So, I'll show the picture now. You can see that where all of the stone brick is, all of this area used to be 1 block deep, everywhere inside of it. And now, when you're looking at it, everything below, well, everything the sand is what's 1 block deep. So we've reduced the amount of area that's only 1 block deep to pretty much like barely anything, which is incredible. So now we have this pretty much inland sea, which I was talking about beforehand. And I didn't capture all of it. I kind of cut off the end of doing that simply because I feel like doing it, like, it took almost 2 hours to get the intro plus the rants plus the rest of that, because I planned on time-lapsing some of it. And basically that would just kill like half my editing software, so I figured probably for the better, how about instead I just cut it off here and then leave it. So I figured, you know what, now since I can remove the stone bricks, since I got this kind of shown already, let's just go ahead, let's remove these, and we can finally look at this ocean in its entirety. And I've not remembered, I've filled up the rest of this outside. I did the rest of that off camera, so now I can remove the stone bricks and it'll fill it in for me. Here, I can reunite this with the water, and I probably need to change this level at least, and the rest of this under area to sand. So then we can have a fully sanded lake. And afterwards, of course, oh, this is a weird view. Just my leggings are in the water and the rest is above. That's a weird angle. But the rest of this I am going to fill up with sea lanterns eventually. Similarly to how I have the, the ocean. So 1 block here, 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 here. Wait for it all to flow across. And there we go. My Elytra is about to die, it looks like, but we can now see from up here, we have ourselves an actual, like, genuine ocean. This is pretty good. Wow. I like this. And now you can see the coastline, how it actually would look. And I'm going to stand on this because it's just here for convenience, I guess. That looks pretty good. So, there you go. I delivered entertaining content in the form of placing water and ranting. So, anyways, I'm going to place some blocks here and here. This thing should probably just be removed because, like, down here, this is only here to symbolize where this dungeon is. Although now with this as well as that, I can simply see, oh yeah, that's what the dungeon would be. So, here. And this is it. This feels a lot better than the whole one block sea. And it's going to look even cooler when we add in, over here's effect of underwater sea lanterns. Because looking at it from above, it already looks really cool. So seeing that area with sea lanterns, that would look even better. So I guess I'm going to finish off, maybe I'll fill that in again off camera. I'm going to work with, I guess, that slight pit, this little strip of river, at least the side that touches the modern district. The rest of this area, like, this river is kind of a divider between this whole, I guess, this northwestern, northwest. This whole northwestern area is like kind of a peninsula. I feel like that river is a good signifier of a cutoff point. Like, that whole snow biome is a whole project on its own, which I have zero plans for, so after that's done, I'm going to try to work with more other areas, but I want to work on that half more rather than leaking into this half, because that wouldn't be fun. And yeah, this area is probably going to get time-lapsed later, maybe, if my storage allows it, I guess, at this point. I'm going to fly through this house because I want to. I'm an Elytra Pro, yeah. Did my Elytra just break? No. But, anyways, I'm still looking for Diamond. Where did Diamond go? Oh, and I need to return the purple bed. Where did it go? Oh, I put it in the back of my inventory. Yeah, right. So, I don't know where Diamond went, honestly, but let's fly up here. Let's just wait for the last of this durability to die. Because my Elytra haven't broken in a really long time. I usually repair my stuff off cam, but apparently not. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.